What do you hate about me?
That you're mean.
That's fair.
And you call me names.
Yep, I'm very mean. I call names.
What's the rule?
Don't call me names.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. It ain't no secret, okay? I talk about you all the time because you're mean.
Thy tree farm. Oof. Did you flinch?
Funny. So I go in there and sure enough, it's positive, and I was shook. So shook. I was like, what? This makes no sense. So I was like freaking out. I went and told Greg. Greg's response is, congratulations, do you want a hug? I was like, you realize this is like your child too. Like, we are not co-workers here.
He told me they weren't gonna do anything that friends wouldn't do. I went to my friends and I decided, okay, I'm gonna go back tomorrow. I'm gonna just do my best to ride it out until she leaves, and then we're not gonna continue. But when I woke up in the morning, Greg told me that they had cuddled together, slept in the same bed, and he'd given her a full body massage without clothes, I guess. So I decided, you know, this is completely unacceptable. Like, he knew where I stood.
Like, you're already a terrible person beyond forgiveness for trying to cheat on the mother of your children. But then you're dumb enough to make a video admitting what a cheater you are for the sake of what? So people will like you or something? That's not gonna happen.
If you're an honest person, you don't cherry pick honesty. I should be thanking you for making me less popular than Shane Dawson. I should be thanking you for making me less popular than Dan Is Not on Fire and all these other people. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for really backing me. Really appreciate that. Even though I make way more unique videos than those. Onision's actually trying to change the world for the better. And what do we watch? We watch Shane Dawson eating food. 2 million views every other video he makes. Hey guys, I'm eating Arby's today, you idiots. You're morons. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe the reason I don't get as many views is because there's not as many people like me in the world. There's more morons than anyone else.
Hello guys, it's been a while. We have to talk about today Onision's husband. Exactly 5 years ago, I made a video on this channel called The Cool Guy Kai Files. In this video, this was the origin point of Onision's partner, who over the years has transitioned into a man. When I say husband, that is my reference to Onision's partner. Today's video is actually an update to the original video that I made 5 years ago. I know, it's been a long time. I've only made one video on Onision's partner because only one video needed to be made because they kind of just disappeared until the last few months. And what I mean by this is, I don't know how many people use TikTok, probably not a lot of you. However, there is a new account specifically documenting Onision's husband's life. And look, that's all fine and dandy, right? I don't really care what people post on the internet, but this is significant because it's significant and it's concerning because of the fact that if my original video 5 years ago still is irrelevant to this very day. Because for those of you who don't know the origin, the lore, the story behind Onision and his partner, these two people colluded together in order to bring a minor into their house and get this person to live with them and become a third in the relationship exactly when she hit 18 years of age. Now, most sane people would call this what's called grooming, and there are lots of examples of this out on the internet that I've talked about extensively of these two individuals doing this to a woman by the name of Sarah. This is an established fact. Onision's husband sent inappropriate photos to this person. Onision then forced this person to get on camera and have a mental breakdown, saying that they weren't in a relationship, they weren't in a three-way dating relationship.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah, and recently I've seen some allegations against my friend Kai regarding me, and I just came to make my statement since I see a lot of people talking for me, but people are saying that we had sexual conversations or were planning on having sexual relations when I was underage, and we never did. I don't know why people are now saying this and bringing up old screenshots that have already been addressed. But Kai is one of the sweetest people I know, and he doesn't deserve this, and it's not fair to me, and it's not fair to him, and I wish this would all stop.
But the internet knew that this was not true, and it eventually came out that this was exactly what we thought it was. This person was being coerced to make a statement to pull back from a publicity standpoint because Onision and his husband were getting so much heat for doing this whole act of bringing somebody underage and moving them into the house and having a relationship with them. Super weird, creepy stuff. But at this current moment, Onision and his husband are currently in a very large lawsuit. There's litigation happening between person Sarah and Onision and lawyers and blah, blah, blah. I've covered it in the past. I'm not going to get into that now. I give you a quick summary of this because I just want people to know the context in which I'm talking about here. So the new TikTok account went by the name Geo and Gage originally, until people started understanding that this account is actually Onision's husband and their potentially new friend or partner or best friend. I don't know at this point. All I know is that Geo Engage, the original TikTok account, kind of exploded with getting some good TikTok views on the account. And they was just promoting the trans lifestyle, which is completely fine. I don't care if people are trans. This is Onision's husband. I want to make that very abundantly clear. It's very obvious. They kind of go out of their way to hide their face for the obvious reasons, because they've been so, you know, pulled out of the internet perspective and from a public standpoint have really been nowhere in the last 5-6 years. So why am I talking about this? Why am I bringing awareness to this random account on TikTok? Well, to be Mr. Obvious here, remember that Onision's husband was with Onision, and as far as I'm aware, they're still together, and they have quite the past here on YouTube. And I think it's concerning that Onision's husband is making trans content, and not because it's trans, but it's specifically catering to a younger audience on TikTok. To be Mr. Obvious here, TikTok is a very generational different of app. A lot of people who use TikTok, it's a very dangerous app for a lot of younger people who get very easily influenced and riddled in and pulled into trends. And I'm not saying that being trans is trends, but in general, they're very easily influenced, okay? And this is somebody, Geo Engage, the account. I don't know who is going by what name, Geo Engage. I don't know if Onision's husband changed their name, for the 4th or 5th time now, because it originally went from Taylor to Kai to Lucas to I don't know if it's Geo or Gage. I don't know if what they're referring to, what name they go by now. But when people found out that this account was in fact Onision's husband, and people started comments, what do you think happened? Boom, boom, boom. The comments instantly got disabled. Now, they also have a dog TikTok account, and you can find out that this is the same person. This is Onision's husband simply by looking and cross-referencing photos and videos that they filmed together, because it's the same bathroom, it's the same pets that they have, the same dog. You can also see like Onision's husband's side profile in some shots and things. The content itself is pretty innocent, not gonna lie. I don't have anything really to say about that, other than the fact that this is somebody who people need to stay away from, and this is not somebody that you should be having young trans people look to as an example, considering their past with grooming somebody who was underage, with bringing somebody into their life underage. And that's the fundamental crux here. And regardless of whether or not somebody is trans or gay, there are bad apples in every single community, okay? And when you have one bad apple in a community, they can do a lot of damage, and they can put a lot of really bad stereotypes and stigmas in those types of marginalized communities and groups, and I'm not for that, okay? That's why I'm making this, is because people need to be aware that this is who they are. And they recently changed when people started finding out their TikTok name, Geo Engage, they changed their TikTok name, Boys in Bloom. And the TikTok account is still there if you want to go take a look and take a peek. Naturally, there's a lot of speculation of what's going on here. I can't really speculate on much because I don't know, other than the fact that it's Onision's husband. They're either friends or partnered, I don't know, with this new person, and this new person is also trans, and they're making trans content. That's about it. So what exactly has Onision been doing? Well, let me give you a quick little update. He had 3 different TikTok accounts. One of them still active. The other 2 are deleted. In fact, one of them was titled, "Put Yourself in Their Shoes." Something that, Greg, I don't think you've ever done in the sole existence of your life. But in this TikTok specifically, he was trying to dive into politics. Haha, hilarious.
Y'all ever feel like this whole issue was settled like decades ago? And the fact that we're still wasting time trying to tell women what to do with their bodies shows not only how incompetent we are as a nation, but how stupid we are.
She doesn't even necessarily watch that. And I know that I'm not attracted to that. I'm more attracted to something like this. Something that you feel more inclined to believe that she prepped that today. And that there's a good chance that that doesn't smell like dead rats. Unlike probably haven't washed my hair in 4 years girl over here.
I'm sure a lot of black women were like, oh lordy lord, thank the heavens that this man is not attracted to me. There's also a second account that he had, was onision.com, which I was just on a couple weeks ago, just browsing. That account no longer exists. But the only account currently on TikTok that is still currently up and active, new TikTok account, is Just Opinions Vet Everyone. And the few videos on this account have their comments disabled, obviously, because, he can't actually allow engagement to happen when people are spamming him and commenting, oh my god, it's Onision, and making fun of him. He just can't deal with that, right? But they did get some pretty steady, views on TikTok, some varying from 50,000 to over 100,000. And there's also some additional TikToks, which I wasn't able to download in time, where he was actually trying to sell products on the TikTok shop. Now, I don't know, anybody can really make a TikTok account and just start selling items on TikTok shop and get like a small little commission. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do. It was a little, when I saw the TikTok originally, I laughed because it's like, wow, man, this is how far your YouTube career has fallen. I mean, mine's fallen too, but goodness gracious, I'm not trying to sell shirts and little figures toys on TikTok to barely scrappy 1%, 2% commission rate. That's just sad at that point. It also should be of no surprise that Onision has launched another website form. This is like, I swear to God, like the 9th website that he has started up. He restarts it, quit. And I don't understand why he's clearly paying money for like to have these host these website forums. And every time he recreates one of these web forms, it gets like less and less and less users, and it's primarily him and the same 5 people on these threads. And just to take a peek of what I'm talking about here, this stuff just was updated like within the last hour. Today's Memorial Day. I'm uploading the same day that I'm making this. And this was within the last 2 hours. Onision posted, titled, "What is your star sign? What do you think of that? His star sign is Scorpio. I don't think much of it, blah, 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 blah." And what's really funny is if you actually start looking through these threads, you're going to see the same people. I swear to God, dude, it's the same 5 other people. This Kate girl, this Brooker Ireland person, Onision, it's Ash, Mary. This Mary person is one of his elites, which is fine. I don't really care. Like, this is the website for him, right? This is so weird. His introduce yourself is of his husband with AI, when they still were like really feminine, which is just strange to me. I don't know how his husband feels about him using him as AI. I don't know, whatever. It's not my business. It's just strange. But I did like this particular thread. What have you been accused of? And in this thread, Onision actually, this was May 1st, so just at the start of the month, he specifically says, "I invited a number of horrific people in my life, blah, 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 as I used to have a hero complex." So this is actually kind of shocking to me that he actually admits that he used to have a hero complex, where if somebody would say, "Help me, everyone in my life's a monster, save me," I used to believe them and try to save them. I mean, shows a little bit of self-awareness, but self-awareness doesn't really do anything if you're like incapable of actual physical change. And regardless of how terrible Onision is as a person, I'm always going to be for anybody, no matter how bad, making improvements to their life and maybe becoming a little bit better. That doesn't negate or take away the bad things that they've done. But if people can actually self-improve and become a better person, that self-awareness, and you can, use application, I support it. Right? But it's so weird to me because even just the thread he made yesterday, this was posted just 3 days ago, where he titles it "A Controversial Concept." And in this thread, he's talking about the R word, and when a boss sleeps with his employees because they can't technically consent, as if they refuse, they could lose their job. And he gives an example. I'm not going to go over this whole thing, but as you can see, it's the same few users who always reply to every single thread, which is just, this is so depressing, dude. Like, I feel bad for the people who are actively participating in this small little elite community of his. The last few remnants of people who are, I guess you could call Onision fans. I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm not trying to convert anybody or make them like disavow, but it's just weird to me that he's still having these weird conversations. Like, I don't know why he's having this conversation about consent anyway, considering what he's done in the past with just like violating people's personal boundaries and posting their personal information, and to just, It's weird. It's super, super weird. He like talks to himself on his own website form. I don't know if that was me, if I had my own website form and I'm like only talking to the same 4 people, that's like really sad and depressing. Like, do you not have any friends? Do you not know how to go out to a bar and socialize? What do you do all day? I don't know. I don't know what he does. I don't care what he does, but like, this is just crazy. And like, you can go to this website and you can see his most recent post just within the last hour. Like, he's constantly on his website replying to people, the same 5 people. And it's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, that's all he's really up to. That's all that's been really updated. This has been an update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't, well, let me show you something really cool. Look at this. This is my newest tattoo. Isn't it cool? So this is actually a gigantic arm piece that's going all the way up to here. This is Samus. Isn't it beautiful? If you like this tattoo, well, can't wait to show off the rest. Also, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching it all the way through. And support the sponsor of the channel today, known as Vance Global. Now, we all know that Mr. Greg, Mr. Onision, doesn't not like when I promote this particular sponsor because the sponsor deals with things that bring you comfort in your day-to-day life. A thing called the Devil's Lettuce. They specialize in gummies. They specialize in certain tools that you can, puff on, and they have other different things which are biodegradable filters, but at the end of the day, their products are of high quality, they're all lab tested, and they will relax you, they will help you sleep, and they will give you utmost comfort. So if you go to vanceglobal.com right now and you use code Repsion, you're going to get 20% off all orders. Every single order that you do, no matter how small or how large. And then you're also going to get free shipping. So if you spend $100, you're going to get $20 off of your order with free shipping combined using my discount code. So if you want to, I've said this before, my little mantra, if you want to make sure to make Gregory upset, support the sponsor of the channel today because he isn't getting sponsors anymore. He's not being monetized on YouTube anymore. I am, so help support the little bit of content that I do make by supporting the sponsor, clicking that first link in the description box, and I'll catch you guys next time I make a video, whenever that is. I don't know. Life's busy. YouTube is just not my priority anymore, and I make a video when I make a video. So I'll see you guys later for the next one, whenever that is. And also, link down below, I think it's the second link. Feel free to join my private gaming community. It is invite only, and it will be available for the first 50 slots, meaning that after 50 people press that secondary link in the description box, the link will expire and nobody will be allowed in. So hit that invite link on my Discord if you want to play video games with me. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!